Alright, here's a quick video review of the Walmart reissue STARSCREAM. It was, I picked him up for a very specific reason, which I will mention later in the review, but like, I hadn't planned on picking him up, and then I saw him at Walmart today. Like, one, I haven't seen him, is part of it. I've seen lots of hot rods all over the place at like every Walmart I go to. I had seen him once before at a Walmart, with like only like 3 or 4 of them, and then they were gone. I still have not yet seen, I guess the mini bots are just now starting to show up on shelves. I did get Tailgate from the website, from Walmart. My other orders were canceled, but did I get Tailgate? Which one showed up? No, I got Gears first. And then Tailgate and Bumblebee, a friend of mine in Canada, picked up for me when they were everywhere up there. I still have never seen Devastator in a store. I know he's shown up in this area, but I've never seen him in a Walmart. So whatever. But anyway, I saw him today. I picked him up. And also I saw they fixed the hot rod packaging, so he's not facing the wrong way on some of them. So, hey, great. Anyway, on to STARSCREAM. It's G1 STARSCREAM. He comes packaged in jet mode. Pretty much like you see here with these null ray missiles. Comes in classic G1 style packaging, although without the styrofoam. With the text spec and the art on the back. So, nothing to worry about. I mean, like, I'm not going to focus on the packaging too much. You get the instructions and a sticker sheet. Stickers are actually pretty decent quality. They're stiff paper. And they stick pretty well, at least they have so far. And the little 2-page instruction sheet in a baggie. And well as that. So here is the base jet mode. And for some reason, and maybe I'm wrong, it's been a while since I played with a G1 STARSCREAM. I seem to recall this not being quite as big of a gap here. I feel like the wings sat a little closer to the body. Again, with what we've got here, that's easily fixable. I feel like you could sand down or file down this a little bit, file down this post, and you could have it sit a little closer to the body. Don't know why they did that, if that is a change. Again, it's been a while. I could have sworn these sat closer to the body. Also, this wing is like super loose. It'll stay in, and it won't shake out, but it's really wobbly, and it comes out very easily. This one over here, however, is stiff, and actually almost has, it stays in pretty well. Takes a little bit of effort to get out. Not too much, not a scary amount to get out. But also, when you rotate it, it has like a place where it kind of pops, like you just kind of saw it there. You're rotating, and it just kind of pops into a position and kind of locks right here. Like if I have it here, it's stiff, and then it just kind of goes whoop, and right there, and then just locks into place. I don't know. But yeah, little jet, removable landing gear. Pegs in under there. Now, I don't have any missiles loaded in his little launchers here because, like I said, he comes with... I clearly have never owned any of the safety reissue STARSCREAMs. Like, I do remember getting one of the Encore releases. Not the book style one. I never got the book style one, but the... I think the one that came in classic G1-esque packaging, Encore STARSCREAMs back in the day. But I never had any of the ones where they modified the missiles for U.S. safety standards. So this is my first experience with it. And like for his null rays, they basically this is all the same as far as I can tell. But like this is thicker and longer here up at this point. Like everything you can see sticking out of my fingers. So when you put it in there, it pops right up in there. And again, it's a little longer than it used to be, but it looks okay-ish in robot mode. A little oversized, but not ridiculous. What is ridiculous is, for whatever reason, they still thought it'd be a good idea to include like the cluster bomb looking missile that, again, originally would attach like this and make this look just kind of like a smaller bomb or fuel pod or weapon here on the jet. But no, for safety reasons, they had to extend the missile. And when you plug it into the launcher, it looks like that. And that is friggin' ridiculous. I don't know why they didn't just not include those missiles rather than go through all the effort to retool it into this ridiculous mess. So yeah, you can do that. You do get them. And there's a couple different ways you can fix this. Like, because knowing that this sits right up against the launcher, you could line these up, trim this much off of the missile, and then cut it up here and either super glue or epoxy it, or if you've got like a little pin vise, drill a little hole into this and into that, use a little paper clip or something as a rod to hold it together. You can modify this to fit in there like the old missiles did. What I will probably do, considering this thickness is the same all the way down aside from this bit, is that I'll line this up here so I know how much length I need, and then probably just cut it right there, and then use like a square file or something to just kind of file down this groove here so I can plug it into the missile launcher, because that is insane. Like I said, it seems weirdly uncost effective to manufacture a whole new molding to extend these to look stupid than just dropping them, but whatever. I don't know. I wasn't the one making that decision. So, like you said, either one of them looks a little out of place in vehicle mode here. You also get, and again, shout out to T-Man, because his review was the only one I could find on how to do this properly. I looked at several videos for the reissue, and his was the only one that mentioned this. But you get a little Megatron gun that works when he's got some slightly remolded fists, and you'll see how that works in later. But there's also a clip here on the side, and I was like, that's got to be for something. And I remembered it could attach in vehicle mode, and I couldn't. If I'd experimented, I probably could have figured it out eventually, but I just went looking. So yeah, this little tab fits in either of his chest pieces. Now you can put it on like this if you want to have the landing gear on. You have to put it in like this, because if you put it in with the inside, it goes right where that landing gear is. Personally, I like to have it on the inside. I think it looks better if you kind of push it in there. You have Megatron's barrel kind of here underneath the nose cone of the jet, and it's also thick enough that it does kind of work as the landing gear. But I just feel that looks better than having him, no matter how you slice it, sticking off to the side. Although I guess you could put it in like this, but then you've got his little stock there off to the side. So this is really the best way to do it. And we'll show it off what he looks like within robot mode. Sticker-wise, when he gets here, his heat rub symbol, which works, is on him. These red stripes come pre-applied, as well as the stickers here on the fin. And then also, his eyes are actually tampoed on. That's not a sticker. That's so much nicer, because I remember it was so easy to lose those little eyeball stickers, or to get them on right was a pain, and then all that stuff. But everything else is the old classic stickers, the ones in the feet up here. And they're pretty decent. Aside from this loose wing, everything's been pretty okay. So you take the landing gear off, and you don't have to do this. You can put this in a baggie. You can store it off to the side, but if you put it with the wheels facing the back of the cockpit, you can actually get it in here and close this. And you can store it in there. With the darker gray canopy, it's not as obvious, but it is still rattling around in there. And if you want to put it off to the side in robot mode, feel free. It's a part that's going to be a whole lot easier to lose when it's not with the robot, like so many of the G1 pieces. Like same with the fist. When he's in jet mode, the fist just sit off to the side. Go ahead and pop his missile launchers off. The instructions say to pop the wings off. You can transform them with them on, but for the sake of just getting this done, we'll go ahead and pop them off. But so there's his main body. You just flip down his feet. Rotate these forward. Now the instructions usually have these sitting straight flat, and you can do that, but there's an angle right here. I usually just like to make that angle so the angle's flat. It just makes the fins look a little bit more dynamic, like they're actually supposed to be part of his support structure versus just kind of hovering there. But how you do it is entirely up to you. So yeah, here's the core. We'll go ahead and bend the canopy down, push the centerpieces out to open the hole, bring his head down, push it through, fold that back. I can't remember if I've done a G1 STARSCREAM on my channel before. May not have. Anyway, meant to search that before I started shooting it, but I will. He's got some little clips that clip onto his arms. And now he's got his fists. So you can see there's an extra tab. There's a hole up here and an extra tab on the bottom from the old school fists. And that's for Megatron. That, wings. You want to rotate these panels back. They just kind of sit back here. You can fold them straight back if you want. They can, You can, if you want them out of the way, you can fold them straight back. They don't stick out much further than his tail fins do. But if you want to have his wings out to the side, you can also... You can have them out like this, but once you... The more you leave them outside the tail fin like this, you can't... I guess his arms can kind of go down. So you can do that. Generally, I don't keep them angled out quite so far. Also, it's very difficult. You can't have them hold Megatron with the wings out like this, because Megatron comes out here, unless you just use the top half of it. But you can give them wide wings like this. It's easier to just pop this up. Again, the missile launcher things can go on his arms. You can, if you're feeling really silly, you can use that. Looks like he's spearfishing. And it's pretty decent spring. They're not gonna go launching super fast, but they will launch out of his arms. As you can see, like, again, they're still a little longer than they should be, but they don't look quite as ridiculous on his arms here in robot mode. And they're essentially a Starscream. You've got some up and down motion in his arms, and that's articulation. Like I said, you can move the wings around, but like that really is pretty much the articulation you get out of a G1 Starscream. And Megatron is, you pop him apart right here, and you plug, this tab plugs into the top of his fist, and then there's a peg hole here. That's what this new peg here on the bottom is for. I really wish they'd find a way to, like I said, if you want to have the wing showing at all, you kind of have to have his arm pointed straight out, because the way the stock comes, you can't put his arm down unless you fold that wing back, and you don't want just one wing facing the right way. Now you can, if you, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, if you want to just have him look like he's holding Megatron and not have the whole stock coming off, you can do that, and that will let the wings position anywhere they could, as if he weren't holding Megatron, because there's nothing else hanging out back there. I do think it would be nice, like none of the Megatrons that have, like I thought maybe this peg hole right here would let you clip this on sideways to this, just so maybe you weren't, even though it wasn't completely accurate, would kind of hide some of that handle, because every time I've seen this gimmick done, it's always, at least on a peg type system, all this grip should be in his hand. And so it's just kind of hanging off here on the bottom, but you know, whatever. I really can't find it in myself to berate lack of posability or engineering on a G1 figure, because, you know, they had to sacrifice some stuff back in the day, and I don't expect them. If I want them to completely re-engineer a figure for modern times, that's what we have, Masterpiece and all the other classic lines and all that stuff. So, not the end of the world. Now, I don't have... I probably could go grab some G1 stuff off my shelf, but the story of why I got him. So, every year when we're home, our family each gets our own new ornament for the Christmas tree. And this year I was going to get Serenity from Firefly. They have a ship, they push a little button, it lights up, it looks really cool. And when we went out to do it, the Hallmark store had sold out of them. But they did have the G1 Starscream ornament. And you can see what these lasers here used to look like. They were a little thinner up here and not quite as elongated down here. So, whatever. But, yeah, so they didn't have Serenity. They did have Starscream, and I'm like, you know what? I actually don't have any Transformers ornaments, and Starscream looks okay enough that he became my ornament for this year. And then while he was sitting up here being my ornament for this year, oh, he's got a little scrape on him. How that happened? Oh, actually, I may be able to get that off. It looks like maybe a paint thing. And every time I walked in and saw him on the shelf, I'm like, I don't have a G1 Starscream. Like, I'm not going to buy the Hot Rod reissue, because I have at least one Hot Rod sitting in my collection room. I may have another one up in the attic. But I don't have a G1 Starscream currently. So when I saw him today, I'm like, why not? And he is still fun. It's weird. Like, I think, I don't need G1 anymore. We've got all these new advanced toys, but I still get a G1, especially like old, like Wave 1, Year 1 G1 toy in my hand. I still feel like a kid again. So, hey. Anyway, there's G1 STARSCREAM from the Walmart reissue line. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all... I don't know if I'm going to have anything shot between now and Christmas. I mean, I have a couple videos I've already shot with some bots. But this will be like... Unless something weird shows up, this will probably be my last video. Well, let's not never say never. In case I don't see you before Christmas, if I don't put anything new up, hope you all have a happy holidays and Merry Christmas. And again, we'll see what 2019 brings. Now, I will probably, now that I've said all that, I'll have like 3 things show up at my house tomorrow, and I'll be like, all right then. Anyway, you know what I meant. Thanks for watching. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah, although that just ended. But anyway, G1 STARSCREAM.